What it do, family? How are you? Welcome back to Closing Open Wounds. And I am yours truly, Cleisha. Yo, I wanted to talk today about hyper independence. I think we need to talk about this. And why we need to talk about this? Because you may have some hyper independent friends that you are not aware of. They have grown quiet. They have gone to themselves. They're trying to figure some things out and you are unaware. I'm talking about this because I am hyper independent. If you've been with me for a while, you know that this stems from abandonment issues from my childhood. Ta-da! Okay, I'm sure you've probably encountered this as well. There came a point in my life where, as a child, and my parents being heavily addicted to drugs and alcohol and unable to take care of my siblings and there came a time where I stopped believing that mommy was going to come home. Unfortunately, there came a time where I believed that I was never going to meet my biological father. I stopped waiting. It also didn't help that I was an M, the firstborn, and the first of my generation, might I add. So there were no older cousins, no older siblings, none of that. So primarily in my brain, I believed that I could only depend on me. Now, yes, my grandparents stepped in when DIFUS was called on us by a close family member, I might add, or a friend of the family, I should say. And, they did a wonderful job rearing us in the house of the Lord. Bless my grandparents. Okay. They are both still living and I love them dearly. If it wasn't for them stepping in and taking us when they did, I would not be the woman that I am today. May not mean much to you, but to me, I am grateful. So early on, I just didn't talk about my feelings much. I kind of always went into a shell, always tried to be self-sufficient. And it also didn't help that growing up, I was bullied and teased. Like I've said in previous videos, melanin and glasses and full lips and hips and all that was not popping back in the 80s and 90s. Now we popping. Okay. I was called everything from Black African booty scratcher. Y'all remember that? And I remember walking down the hall in high school and one of my friends, which was hilarious, he was like, "Hey, Cleisha, where's your fruit basket?" Like I looked, I guess, and I still get this, like, what island am I from? Where was my fruit basket? I'm supposed to be walking down the hallway with a fruit basket on my head. But anywho, so it took a lot for me to even love myself because, I was just taking on everyone else's opinion of myself. But anyway, that's not what we're talking. We're talking about hyper independence. So because of this, and because of growing up without, my mom being present, I didn't have anyone to call. So I grew up with this, handling it on my own. Now at 43 years old, I'm still doing it. Guys, you would not believe I am in a transition right now in my life, and no one who is very close to me knows at this point. I'm sure I'm going to get some phone calls after this message airs, but I am going through a major transition right now. Been here before, but it's a transition nonetheless. And I'm going through, and you know why? Okay. What I want to do is give you some insight on who could be hyper independent and who is really going through stuff and you're just not aware. Maybe they don't feel comfortable talking to you about it, or maybe they don't even think that you can help. There's a lot of reasons why people retreat, people go within. I grew up not complaining. I felt as though crying about it wasn't going to help. Talking about it wasn't going to help. So I stopped talking. Even till this day, if you ask me, "Oh, Cleisha, how's everything going?" Everything's good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Life be lifing, but everything is good for the most part because it is. But people are not talking. And I would speak just from a woman's perspective, but I hear men go through this as well. So this is for male and for female. This goes for the both of us. You know, sometimes we don't feel comfortable talking to our spouse, our loved ones. We just don't feel comfortable speaking to you about it. In most cases, or some cases, you know, we want to talk about it, but when it comes to the people we want to talk about it to, they either downplay it or think you're complaining, or, you know, especially women, you men think that we're always being dramatic, and we're really not. Just because we feel each and every emotion, and most times you guys don't, because of our hormones and how we were built and created. No shade. You know, I've come home from work and like, oh my God, this is happening and da da da. And even my sons, I'm a boy mom. Oh, mom, you just talking. Oh, mom, you just. Do you know how that makes a person feel? So when you get enough of that shutting down, you slamming the door in their faces, the only thing you're doing is building a wall, brick by brick. And what happens? We have to make decisions on our own, or that's how we feel. And then when everything is all said and done, why didn't you tell me? Oh my God. Do you make me feel comfortable in telling you? Or on the other hand, God bless my grandmother. She will worry her heart out about her family. So there's some things I just, Grandma, no, everything is fine. Because I don't want her to worry. Hyper independence. Like even when we're going through, we are still caring about everyone else's feelings. And, you know, we don't want to bother anyone. I could really miss anyone. I could miss you as a friend, as a lover, whatever, you know, and you probably wouldn't even know. Because, you know, I don't want to bother them. I just got a lot going on. Let me just go in my little corner. You know, I had a bad day. Let me just go in the corner and lick my wounds in peace. Right. And I'm just speaking for me, but I'm sure there's other people like this. Like I would love you so much and you wouldn't even know that I need you. So one of the things for me being hyper independent is I'm not always going to tell you what's wrong. But if I say to you, I miss you, or, you know, we need to hang out, or I need some social time, or, you know, let's go get something to eat. If I'm dating, you know, I need a massage, you know, rub my feet. That's me saying, I need you. As a hyper independent person, it is hard for us to say when we need someone. It's hard for us to ask when we need help. And you guys know how I feel. We need each other. You know, it's hard. So this video, short and sweet, is just to make you aware, just to look out for the signs. And don't dismiss, you know, when people want to talk and get things out, a lot of times, especially being, you know, hyper independent, we're not looking for you to fix anything. We're just trying to get it out, especially women. You know, once we talk about it, most of the times we feel so much better. But most times men, y'all don't let us talk. Y'all don't let us get it out. Like if we can talk to you, who are we going to talk to? Would you rather us talk to, you know, another man, another person? You know, so, you know, check on your strong friends, okay? Like, check on them. Like, we're going through. We're at pivotal moments in our lives. And life is tough. If someone becomes vulnerable to say, I really need you, or can we get together, or I'm having a bad day, can we talk about it? Don't be like, oh my God, here we go again. Like you know, like, I mean, wow. Like, really? Like, that's how you feel? And I've been in situations like that where I don't even consider myself a burden to people because I pay my own bills and I push my own wheels. You know what I mean? Like, I'm handling it. You know what I'm saying? So if someone says and they break down and they need to talk and vent, let people talk and vent. Like, that's what's wrong with the world today. We don't have anyone to talk to. We have all these friends on social media and no one here next to us. So we're closer to the people millions of miles away and furthest away to the people that's next door. This is the life we're living right now. So again, check on your strong friends. You know, and be more considerate of people's feelings. People need to talk, and I feel like people want to talk. Even men, I feel like men are really articulating how they're feeling. And now you got some women that don't even know how to accept it, especially a prideful woman. Like, even women, you know, yeah, I'm thinking about that. Like, when men want to say how they're feeling and everything like that, and women, oh, you acting like a female, or you acting like, you know, a baby or something like that. Like, if you don't let that man express himself, it's hard. You know, men are raised and taught and bred, and it's in their DNA to be strong, go out, hunt, fight, kill. Like, you know, and you know, they need a safe place. And what I'm saying is that everybody needs a safe place. We all need a safe place to land. You know, just, you know, look out for your friends, your hyper independent human beings like myself who have or feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. If I don't have it, it ain't getting had. Like, if you know, every move that I make has to be strategic. And this is where I am in life. And if I don't have anyone to talk to about it, that's not good. That's not good. So especially if you are in a marriage, you know, a relationship, even a friendship, you know, just please be mindful, be patient, you know, put, you know, what you're going through or whatever is going on to the side and let that person talk. Don't turn people away. That's the worst feeling in the world. So I'm trying to reprogram myself from having to hold everything in. And I want to be able to, you know, divulge in how I'm feeling and, you know, the transition that I am going through currently. So pray for your girl. Okay. And, you know, I love you guys so much. I thank you for rocking with me. You guys are amazing. And I appreciate you so much. And just thank you so much. So check on your strong friends. If you're hyper independent like me, let me know in the comments, you know, what you're going through, what you're growing through. And let's get through this together. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.